Here's something to look forward to this weekend. The price of a postage stamp is going down 2 pennies. It will now cost 47 cents, down from 49 cents to mail a 1-ounce letter via the United States Postal Service. Here with a look at what that means is Laura Stevens. Hi, Laura. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So, Laura, when is the last time a price of a stamp went down instead of up? I can't remember.
Actually, it was 1919, so this is not a common occurrence, and basically the Postal Service was given permission by its regulators to charge a little bit extra for a certain amount of time until they could make up some of the revenue that they lost during the recession following the financial crisis in 2008. So basically this was a temporary measure, and it's expiring this weekend.
But I'd imagine, even though we're talking about 2 cents, that it probably adds up. Is the Postal Service happy about this?
They are not. They actually really thought this change. It's going to cost them about $2 billion annually in revenue, they said. And, you know, they argue that back during, just in 2009 alone, they lost about $7 billion in lost revenues and mail and stuff. And so they've been trying to get Congress to pass an extension to this to make it even permanent. So they're not happy about it. And, you know, it's not just the 1-ounce letter that's going down. It's across the board. So postcards, international mail, even commercial products are going to be going down in price.
So is there any recourse for them? Can they fight this any further, or can't they just decide to raise rates again?
Well, at this point, so basically their regulators monitor and kind of, you know, guard against any price increases that would affect consumers for products for which the Postal Service has a monopoly. So this is one of those things where they have a monopoly, and so the prices are very closely regulated. So they can't actually up the price. They did raise prices on packages earlier this year, which they're trying to get into more and more with e-commerce and shipping things for Amazon and stuff. So they're able to raise prices on competitive products like that, but not for monopoly products. And so the only recourse here would be if Congress steps in, and it's highly unlikely they'll do so before Sunday.
Yeah, I'm sort of surprised with the rise of startups delivering everything from clothes to cat food. Hasn't the U.S. Postal Service been able to cash in on that a little bit?
They have a little bit. You know, parcels have been really helping their bottom line. It's growing very quickly, but still, first-class mail is actually their most profitable product. You know, it's easy for you to get into a mailbox and stuff. Packages take a little more time. A letter carrier might have to carry it up to your door. And first-class mail has actually fallen by 35% since 2007. So that's been a huge hit to their revenue base. And although they had their first profitable quarter since 2011 in their last quarter, which covered the holidays, you know, it's still rough times ahead for them financially.
And I guess this might be surprising for some, but the U.S. Postal Service does not receive a single taxpayer dollar. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, so they're not operationally funded by taxpayers, so they actually fund themselves to operate. They do get some perks, though, because you know, they get a $15 billion credit line from the Treasury Department, which they've actually used up. They get some, you know, subsidies from Congress to cover things like Mail for the Blind and other services. And then, of course, you know, you can argue that the fact that they don't have to pay for parking tickets and other things like that also add up to, you know, some advantages. But yes, they don't actually get any taxpayer money for operation.
Right. All right. Well, I guess we're all going to save 2 cents going forward. All right, Laura.
Wait till Sunday to buy your.
Woo! That's right. Thank you so much, Laura.